7 mind traps, silently killing your wealth and you don't even know it. Come, let's expose them. Before you hustle harder, before you buy another course or chase another opportunity, ask yourself this: what if you're not broke? Instead, you're blocked. What if you're not lazy, but you're psychologically trapped by invisible wounds? This video will expose the 7 hidden mental and emotional blocks standing between you and generational wealth. But more than that, I'll tell you real-life stories you'll never forget. Because when we see ourselves in the story, that's when transformation begins. Welcome to Neurogold, where we don't just chase money. Instead, we rewire the mind to hold it, grow it, and pass it on. Let's dive in. Firstly, trauma-encoded poverty. At 9 years old, Jasmine watched her mom cry over a $27 electricity bill. That night, her mom said, "We're just not lucky like rich folks. People like us don't get ahead." Fast forward 20 years. Jasmine earns 6 figures, but always ends up broke by month's end. This is because she buys things she doesn't need. She feels guilty saving. Why? Because her nervous system links safety to struggle. Psychology. Insight. Trauma doesn't just live in your past, it lives in your habits. It makes lack feel familiar, even when abundance is available. Therefore, how do I get over this? Start by identifying your earliest money memory. Was it fear, shame, guilt? Then use daily nervous system regulation like deep breathing, EMDR therapy, or somatic journaling to unlink fear from finances. Reframe mantra: I am safe to grow richer than I've ever seen. Let's get practical for those that are wondering what EMDR therapy or somatic journaling is. Wait for you to uncover it shortly. 1. EMDR inspired therapy, which means eye movement desensitization and reprocessing for rewiring subconscious beliefs around money. The money memory loop. Rewire the emotional trigger. Close your eyes. Recall a strong money memory that evokes guilt, fear, or shame. X. The day your parents said, "We can't afford that," or when you were mocked for dreaming big. Notice, where do you feel it in your body? What emotion is present? What belief did you take from that moment? I'm not allowed to have more. Money causes pain. Now, using your eyes or a gentle tapping on alternate shoulders, butterfly tap, begin slow bilateral stimulation. As you do this, repeat aloud or in your mind, "That was then. I'm safe to release it now. I choose new beliefs." Visualize yourself stepping out of that memory and into a brighter scene. You're holding abundance, you're calm, you're free. Loved ones are safe, and wealth feels light. Then, end by affirming, "I am no longer the child of that moment. I am the architect of a wealthy future." Second, somatic journaling. This is body-based journaling to release emotional tensions stored in your nervous system related to wealth. Ask yourself this question: where does wealth feel unsafe in my body? Journal instructions. Sit in silence for 3 minutes. Place one hand over your heart and the other on your belly. Ask yourself, when I think about having more than enough, where does my body tense up? What does that tension feel like? Heat, tightness, emptiness? What voice or message is hidden in that sensation? Now write freely using these starters. My body feels afraid of wealth because I inherited this fear from. If I were free to hold abundance in my body, I would feel. Close the entry by saying, "Today, I give my body permission to feel safe with wealth. I am rewiring safety into my cells." Secondly, subconscious guilt around having more. So Daniel finally made it. His business crossed 7 figures, but instead of joy, he felt anxiety. He stopped sharing wins, hid his income from friends. You may ask why. This is because he grew up hearing, "Don't brag." You'll make people feel bad. Too much money changes people. So now, his success feels like betrayal. Here is the psychology insight. When abundance triggers guilt, you unconsciously sabotage it. You fear becoming one of them, greedy, out of touch, selfish. Then the solution is, write this sentence daily. My wealth helps me serve at a higher level. Visualize wealth not as a wall, but a bridge, helping others rise with you. Here is the realignment exercise. Create a prosperity with purpose list. 5 ways your wealth will uplift others, e.g., family relief, charity, job creation. Anchor your success in service. Thirdly, perfectionism and fear of failure. Lena had an idea that could have changed her life. An app that helps single moms budget easily, but she kept tweaking it, and tweaking it, and tweaking it, until 3 years passed, and someone else launched the same idea and became one of the most successful individuals in the society. When Lena saw the app, she regretted not launching the app because of fear that blocks her mind. Why? Her brain feared failure more than regret. Here comes psychology insight. Perfectionism is a form of protection. If I don't launch, I can't lose. So the solution is reprogram your brain for quick, imperfect action. Use the 3X rule by telling yourself these words. If it's 70% ready, it's launch ready. Feedback will refine it faster than fear ever will. Neurogold Mindshift. You can't edit a blank page, so start messy and grow publicly. Fourthly, loyalty to broken family systems. A young man called Emeka became the first millionaire in his family, but every time he'd try to invest or save, he'd give it away to cousins, friends, requests. He was funding everyone's survival, leaving his own future. Subconsciously, Emeka equated boundaries with betrayal. Here is the psychology insight. We often stay broke to stay accepted. That's emotional poverty. Possible solution is create legacy boundaries. Designate a portion of your income for giving, but cap it. Invest the rest in wealth-building tools. Inner dialogue to repeat. I honor my family by ending the struggle. Then the empowering action. I want you to write a letter of wealth responsibility to your younger self or ancestors. Make wealth feel like respect, not rebellion. The 5th, learned helplessness, the invisible cage. Tyrese applied to 40 jobs, got rejected 38 times. Eventually, he stopped trying. Years later, he still works the same underpaid job, scrolling Instagram at night, watching others win. He doesn't even try anymore. However, here is the psychology insight. That's learned helplessness. A belief loop that says, nothing I do matters. It creates apathy that looks like laziness, but it's actually grief. And the neuroscience insight is that chronic stress shrinks your hippocampus, which shrinks your hope. Here comes the solution. Use the 3M rule. Micro movement equals macro change. Just start. Small. Apply to 1 job. Ask 1 mentor. Save $1. Momentum isn't a feeling, it's a muscle, and your brain rebuilds hope through action. The 6th, negative self-talk and identity loops. Maribel kept saying, I'm just not good with money. It was her joke, her icebreaker. But year after year, her income never grew. Because what you rehearse, you reinforce. Psychology insight. Know it today that your brain believes your voice above all others. If you say, I'm broke, you'll act broke. And if you say, I'm learning money mastery, then your brain will start to adapt. The quick solution to that is build a new identity loop. Start with, I'm not bad with money. I'm becoming wise with money. I don't avoid bills. I manage them with strength. I don't overspend. I redirect resources. Pair it with action, even tiny ones. Pay 1 bill ahead. Track 1 habit. Behavior seals belief. The seventh, fear of responsibility. Kelechi said she wanted millions, but when her business grew, she panicked. She avoided hiring, delayed taxes, missed opportunities. Why? Success meant more responsibility, and responsibility felt heavy, dangerous, stressful. Psychology. Insight: many fear what wealth demands, visibility, leadership, structure, so they shrink to stay safe. I will advise you to try this if you want to overcome this. Visualize responsibility as power, not pressure. Ask, how can I design my wealth to support me instead of trap me? Start delegating now, even small tasks. Train your nervous system to see leadership as safe. Rewire affirmation. My wealth expands my peace. My leadership expands my life. Finally, you've just met 7 shadows. Not to fear them, but to finally see them. Because what you don't heal, you'll repeat. And what you rewire, you'll pass on. So bear it in mind always that your brain can change, your identity can shift, and your family's legacy can start with you. Here at Neurogold, we don't just teach abundance, we walk with you through the mental rewiring it takes to hold it. Every story you heard today, someone healed it. You can too. So, comment, unblock me below if you're ready to clear the path. Subscribe so your mind gets wealthier every week. Share this with someone hiding behind struggle. They need it. The future you want isn't waiting on motivation. It's waiting on transformation. Thanks for watching, and together let's rewire.